a great question. I'm glad you asked it. You know, ideas are only as good as your ability to implement them, right? And when it comes to the budget of the state, I think we have to recognize there are certain things our state government ought to do, the necessary and reasonable services of state government, and there's a whole lot of things we need to get government out of. Let me tell you what government shouldn't do anymore. We shouldn't offer grant money for woke poetry. Can we agree on that? Okay. I think we should no longer promote the services of Planned Parenthood to provide. Think of this, your state government, and that would be my one question for the Attorney General, because I've actually produced evidence of how our state agencies are violating state statute and promoting Planned Parenthood and the like. And I would like to see some action on that. To answer your question, we have to not just cut taxes, we have to shrink government. For my friends who studied economics, you understand every stinking time we shrink government and cut taxes, everyone does better. If you believe in the economic policies of President Trump, Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, folks, the government will provide better, necessary, and reasonable services if we get it out of all this other garbage stuff and shrink it. And that is what we have to do. But I'll throw some numbers out there because, well, I'm kind of a numbers guy, and I'm sure some of you are too. The income tax in the state government brings in about $2 billion a year. Did you hear what the surplus is? It's about $2 billion. But beyond that, you have to understand, and I'm not talking about the pension. Nobody's going after Percy here. We have a great pension in the state. We don't need to go around messing it up. Separate from the pension, your state government is sitting on over $8 billion in cash and short-term investments. Yes, that you heard me correctly, and I know there are some people who know their legislators. They say, Ed, what are you talking about? You know, I heard about the general fund and this and that. Folks, the general fund is one of over 360 funds in your state government. Here's something even a number of legislators don't know, and it concerns me. Do you know we have $2.5 billion a year on auto pay in your state government? Oh, recurring appropriations that once approved, they just go and they go and they go. $2.5 billion a year. So I would say abolish the state income tax. And nobody's touching the rainy day funds. I'm a financial planner, folks. That's my job to tell people about rainy day funds. But the rainy day fund is about $400 million. We don't need $8 billion set aside to just grow government. So we're going to start spending some of that down, and we're also not going to pay grant money for woke poetry. And you know, another one I saw, go to the Boise Art Museum sometime. I really recommend it. It's quite a journey. Last time I went, a few years ago, they had little figurines, like stick figurines made out of cat hair. I'm not exaggerating right now. This is funded in part because of your tax dollars. So this is why I'm saying, if you had a governor who sat down in the Capitol and on day one said, bring me the budget for every agency in this state government and bring in a box of red pens, you would see immediate and drastic change. Thank you. The property tax piece. Because the property tax one is really, really important. And I've worked with many people who are on a fixed income, and I have to tell you, the Biden economy is crushing to those people. You got inflation through the roof, fuel prices through the roof, their IRAs, their 401ks are plummeting, and then they don't know what their next property tax bill is even going to look like. Nobody in this room knows what your next property tax bill is going to look like. It's unpredictable and it's skyrocketing. Let me tell you the principle that my property tax plan is built around. Growth should pay for itself. Growth ought to pay for itself. And here's how we accomplish that. So the current property tax system is just like this. You buy a house and other people choose to move in around you. They put it on your back to help pay for the infrastructure and services for those people who are moving in around you. That makes no sense. This is literally how simple it can be. And because I'm not backed by special interest groups, I'm free to say things like this. When you go to buy a house, you should know what the total property tax bill is going to be on the house for every year for your entire lifetime. You should know. You should be able to budget for that. And I know some people who say abolish the property tax. I will tell you, that is a horrible idea. Let me tell you why. If you abolish the property tax, you're going to have bureaucrats in Boise dictate to Kootenai County how much funding your county can have and what projects it can take on. Do not do that. That will be a grave error. So did that answer your question? More so than you probably wanted. Okay. No, great question. Thank you.